The official Thursday box office numbers are out, and Avengers Endgame got a total of $3,416,496. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum got an estimated $5.9 million, so it is unofficially the number one film for Thursday. But because John Wick doesn't actually open until Friday, the $5.9 million isn't an official Thursday total, so Avengers Endgame remains the number one film in the box office officially, but it did not earn more money than another film that was out on Thursday. So John Wick's total will be added to its Friday total, and at this stage, a lot of predictions are saying about $55 to maybe $55 million for John Wick's opening weekend. And I think Endgame will get around about $30 million, maybe a little bit under $30 million. So John Wick will definitely be the number one film on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It will be over Endgame, as it is right now, but it'll be official for the weekend. So Endgame will no longer be the number one film in the US domestic box office after Thursday. And once again, if we look at our chart with Star Wars The Force Awakens, Avatar, Endgame, Infinity War, Jurassic World, and Star Wars The Last Jedi, we can see the yellow line for Endgame flattened out as expected for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it is getting a little bit further away from Star Wars The Force Awakens, the dark blue line, every single day, and that'll just keep continuing to happen, so it'll definitely be underneath The Force Awakens. The only question is, how far underneath The Force Awakens will it go? The line will angle up again for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just like the blue line above it angles up, but it won't angle up so much to actually gain ground on Star Wars Force Awakens. At this stage, the only thing to look at is when will it actually overtake Avatar. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting very close. When we take a look at the total gross records in the US domestic market without inflation, we have Avengers Endgame number 3 with $741 million, and Avatar number 2 with $760 million. I think it'll go over the $760 million mark on Saturday, but it'll be quite close. So it'll at least do it on Sunday. If it doesn't hit it on Saturday, it's going to happen on Sunday. So Avengers Endgame on Sunday, it will be the second biggest film of all time without inflation in the US domestic market. On this chart here, we have Star Wars The Force Awakens as the blue line, we have Endgame as the green line, and my predicted totals for Endgame is the red line coming out of the green line. So this goes for about another 10 more days, or to the end of the Sunday at the end of the 5th weekend. So we're just coming up to the 4th weekend right now. And you can see that my predictions say that it will still be underneath the blue Star Wars Force Awakens line, and it will keep getting further behind. At the end of the 5th weekend, it'll be getting close to $800 million for Endgame, and Star Wars The Force Awakens is around about $850 million at that point in time. And here we have the raw numbers just showing basically the exact same information. So we're on day 21 right now, that is the Thursday, and day 22 is the upcoming Friday. So all of the numbers on the right-hand side for day 22 onwards for Endgame are green. That is my predicted numbers. Those aren't real numbers. And we can see that I think it'll get a bit over $7 million for Friday, about $12.5 million for Saturday, and a bit over $9 million for Sunday. And on the Saturday, it'll be $761 million, so slightly ahead of where Avatar will be. But again, if that's off by, say, $1 or $2 million, it'll definitely get over $760 million on the Sunday. If you look down the very bottom, at this stage, I think it'll be around $797 million on the actual Sunday on the 5th weekend. And if we look across to the left, we can see The Force Awakens was on $852 million at that same point in time. And one other interesting thing here is that Infinity War actually out-earned Endgame for the previous Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I don't mean on a percentage basis, I mean the actual raw numbers. Infinity War actually earned more than the $5.7 million that Endgame got on Tuesday, the $3.7 it got on Wednesday, and the $3.4 it just got on Thursday. So Infinity War is actually out-earning Endgame at the same point in time. It's obviously not going to earn more money. Endgame earned way more money before this point in time, but now it's actually flattening out so much so that Infinity War is out-earning it on a daily basis. So onto the world numbers. Right now, Endgame has got an estimated total of $2,534,794,870. Now that money is probably a little bit out. Box Office Mojo doesn't actually reduce any of their numbers. Whenever they put a kind of predicted number up and it's wrong, they seem to just keep it there until the money overtakes it. So this number obviously won't go down from here, but there was about a $10 million reduction in the Chinese box office, and that follows another $7 million that was taken out of the Chinese box office about a week ago. So the Chinese numbers are being fiddled around a little bit at the moment and being reduced, And if you look at the numbers.com, another good website that's got some box office information, they don't even have it officially over $2.5 billion yet. So they're being a lot more cautious with the actual foreign box office money than what Box Office Mojo is. But if we use the Box Office Mojo figure here, $2.53 billion. And according to Box Office Mojo, it's earned around about $30 million in total for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday so far. Here we have a chart with the Chinese box office and the US box office numbers for Endgame. Because of the time zone differences, the Chinese numbers are 1 day ahead. That is the Friday number for China there. China got about $1.5 million on Friday. So the Chinese numbers are basically drying up. We can see how flat it's gotten. There's not a lot more money to get in China. And this is also true for a lot of the other foreign markets. So the US market still has a lot more money to go for the Endgame total, but a lot of the foreign markets, there's not that much money left to get in their box office. And lastly, here we have the gross totals for the world records. We've got Avatar number 1, $2.788 billion, and Avengers Endgame still number 2, $2.534 billion. So about $250 million separates the two right now. I said it'll get about $30 million on the weekend, and it may get something like another $60 million in the international market on the weekend. I assume it'll be less than that, but it could maybe get $60 million there. So that'd be another $90 million by Sunday, perhaps. I think it'll be lower than that, but maybe another $90 million. So it's getting there, it's getting closer. The only question is there enough money left in the foreign market to get it over the top of this $2.788 billion to become the biggest film ever without inflation? Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.